Merry Christmas. Welcome to another edition of the Christmas list for 2021. 2021 was a kind of an awkward year. Everybody kind of agrees with that. It was kind of awkward. It's not necessarily the year we wanted, it was the year we got. So this year, there are a lot of songs that I put on here. There's some tentpole songs that are probably always going to be on this particular list. The Christmas song by Dave Matthews is always going to be on this list. Sting's version of Gabriel's Message will always be on this list. And Baby Please Come Home by U2 I think will always be on this list. Songs that will not be on this list, songs that people, if you see me put this on a list, come to my house and check on me because it's something is wrong with me. Anything by Mariah Carey that's a Christmas song, come get me. Last Christmas, if I put that on a Christmas list, come by my house. Something is wrong with me. I need to be looked at. It is a desperate. If I put Wham's Last Christmas, especially if I lead off with it, if you get this Christmas list next year, and Last Christmas is the first song on there, come get me. If I end up putting you out of Wham Halla because I put you on a list, come get me and slap me around. I wouldn't do that to people. So you know I need help if this happens. So those songs will never be on my list. So just, I don't do that to people. I will say that, as I kind of do every year, I always try to put sometimes different versions of songs on the list. What I found fascinating, last year I found it fascinating, I stumbled in the same rabbit hole again this year, was I stumbled on several different versions of Sting doing Gabriel's Message. The one I usually use is the one that fascinated me as a kid watching it on MTV, which is the version of the song that I use every year on the list. But if you go and you find it, I almost thought about doing a montage of it. Somebody actually may already have a montage of it, of Sting doing that song over the last couple decades. There's a version of him doing it on Top of the Pops in '87. There's a version of him doing it somewhere in '93. I think there's an '03 version that I found. But the interesting thing about it is he arranges the songs differently every time. You always find something new in each version that he does. And he puts different emphasis on different parts of the song as he gets older. So it's a song that definitely means a lot to him. And I find those parts kind of fascinating. This year I added, outside of those tentpole songs, Christmas in Hollis, also a tentpole song. Christmas in Hollis is probably going to be on these lists every year. I did not, however, because I'm just not cruel to people, I found a Lil Nas X Christmas song this year. Didn't put it on there because I'm not mean. Curtis Blow has a 8 to 13 minute Christmas rap. I got through 3 minutes and 42 seconds of it. Don't do that to yourself. Don't. I might end up, maybe having a glass of bourbon sometime later in the Christmas season and listen to this whole song. I'm not doing it to people. I'm not just gonna put it out there for you. If you want to subject yourself to that, you can find it. It's out there. But don't do it to yourself. The rest of these songs, I'm not gonna spoil the rest of the list because there's a mix of some songs that some people are gonna think aren't Christmas songs. Some songs that are winter songs that don't necessarily, that some people might think fit the genre, some people don't. I do want to talk about a song I don't think I've done a cover video on. And I was listening to it last night and I still think it's a banger. I still think this song stands the test of time. But it's Hazy Shade of Winter by the Bangles. the opening riff on that song is still monster to me. Like, it still hits. Less Than Zero, which is the movie that song is on the soundtrack of, is still an amazing movie. It is the reason why that era of time, that movie itself, the way Robert Downey Jr.'s performance in that movie, is the reason why there is especially for people, especially for Gen X, there's a sweetness to seeing Robert Downey Jr. succeed because we know where he's been. And when I was listening to Hazy Shaded Winter last night, to put it on the list, just seeing the clips from the movie and the video reminded me of all that stuff. I was just like, wow. There are parts of this timeline, people like to say it's timeline, the parts of this the last few years, especially the last 10 years, that have been great. And part of that's been Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Iron Man has been, one of the better parts of what's been going on. But to remember that movie and see kind of where he was and the performance, and to know that he's always been that good. But, his demons gotten away for a little bit. But to see him come out on the other side and see him be successful is one of the triumphs of those movies. It's not just that they're Marvel movies, but if you're a Robert Downey Jr. fan, it's that he's this successful after being in the dumps. And so that was kind of awesome to me. There's one other movie though I could probably talk about the movies that associate with some of these songs for a bit. Another song I was looking at that I put on the list this year, because this is probably the last song I'm going to talk about because I was curious about it. I put Jeff Buckley's Hallelujah on this list. And the reason I did was because I watched the version of Andrea Bocelli, and this little girl was singing with him, was singing a song with him. And I stopped the video because I was like, I know this song. And he's not the only person I've seen, like really famous person singing, doing this song kind of a Christmassy setting. And I was like, if I were to do a Christmas love song list, maybe, I guess what you would call the Hallmark, the Hallmark Christmas love song list. I guess I'd put it in that. Because it is a love song, and in my opinion, it's not even Jeff Buckley's best love song. And I don't know that it isn't the song to me also that shows off his range either. There are a couple songs on Grace that I think do him more justice than Hallelujah. There are even a couple songs on Sketches, on Sketches for My Sweetheart the Drunk, that I think do him a lot more justice than Hallelujah. But Hallelujah is probably his best known song, absolutely. I don't think it's his best love song, or even his best song out of his catalog. I don't even think that's true. But I saw a lot of people doing Hallelujah in a Christmas context. I was like, you know what? Because it's been this kind of year, I'll put that on there. Just to add some flavor, to add something different than the last two lists. So next year might be different. Next year, I might put that Curtis Blow song on. The next year, I might be feeling like I'm gonna do this to people and just put it on there and see what people think. But that's the list. That's the list. The parts of the list I'm going to talk about. So, from all of us here at the main channel and at Mixtapes and Mistakes, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Get all the presents that you want to get. As per usual, I probably am going to do a Boxing Day list. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to do a Boxing Day list. Probably going to be some shanties on there, as per usual. So, look out for that. That's it. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. We'll catch y'all on the flip side. Thanks.